This might have been the most wholesome episode we've gotten so far in 2B Hero X, and honestly, it also solved a few of the mysteries that we really wanted to see. Let's talk about it.
I guess we find out that she signed with that record label or whatever.
Yeah.
We find out that this boss man is crazy.
Nah, he a sociopath for real.
he really about his money for real.
He don't care about nothing else.
Nothing else.
And honestly, I don't really blame him the way the powers work in this world, right? Because as soon as she made her little speech at that last concert, he was like, "You know, you just caused some trouble, right? Don't ever talk about your past again."
For real.
He said, "Words have power in this world, okay? Shut your ass up." And honestly, he wasn't wrong because she caused the calamity. We thought it was Homeboy last week. You know what I'm saying? We thought somehow like her talking about him gave him powers and he was already misfortunate. But it was actually because she talked about him, right? It spread all these rumors. So people started looking into the orphanage in her past, right? And so people started being like, oh, like, what if she's not so lucky? If she was potentially part of this plane crash, then maybe like she steals people's luck. And that turned into a real phenomenon where everything that was associated with her started getting this weird, like, unlucky energy, like pulsating out of them because they were all scared of losing their luck. And because Side had already left them on top of that, it just made their insecurities turn into reality.
Yep, that makes sense.
So it was
that makes a lot of sense. And then we got the orphanage owner. He told Luo how like about the plane crash.
Yeah,
and he basically said, "Oh, you know your parents were on that plane crash, and she's the only one that lived." Like
that info turned this man into Ken Kaneki.
Like, bro, literally, he had the one eye and everything.
I was
looked
like,
just alike.
Is that a ghoul?
Bro, I could just imagine him walking down with the homeboy in his arms, walking down the road. I'm sorry.
Chill.
Yeah.
No, that was the vibes I was getting, man. Because honestly, I feel like what this episode might have lacked in tension because it didn't really have a crazy cliffhanger for real. I mean,
it did, just a tad.
But I think it was a really good episode for world building because I thought like it was a situation where like the heroes get the positive attention, right? And unless like you go to the dark side, like your powers don't like affect people in a negative way. But it doesn't really matter. Like some people can see you in one way and it affects them in a good way. Other people see you in a bad way and it affects them as well.
And we see that from the first hero with Nice too against the Orochimaru guy.
True.
Because he saw him in a different light, you know?
See, but his was also a little different because Orochimaru legitimately switched sides. He went from using people's adoration to straight up using their fear.
Like, my point though, he's still...
Yeah.
But
this is the first time we saw somebody that was like genuinely good though. Causing like a straight up like apocalypse. Like on accident for real. Just because she said some words. Which is just insane to me, right? Like our celebrities in our real world would not be able to handle this kind of power. Could you imagine what Diddy would be doing?
Oh jeez.
Like this world is crazy. Like you really can't get the wrong people famous. You know what I'm saying? People always like to joke about like streamers like, well, why'd y'all let the person get famous? But like in that world, oh no. Like imagine Speed in that world, bro. Everybody gonna be barking. I don't know.
Wild.
I'm just saying, like it's just crazy. Like the power system is so simple, but the effects it can have can be very complex. I think that's what I appreciate about it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes shows try to go like really, really in depth with their power systems, but this one they're just like you can get as something as simple as power of friendship fixing the day, or it, like Nice essentially was just like pure like will. You know what I'm saying? He pulled like a Batman or Deku moment where he was just like, I'm just him. All right. But at the same time, look, he's high, not even trying to do nothing. She really just chilling, trying to sing for real. And she out here causing an apocalypse because she wanted to tell someone a wholesome story. He's like, yeah, man, I grew up in this orphanage and, you know, my best friend helped me make this song. People were like, what orphanage? What happened over there? And they just start digging into it and making up their own scenarios, which were true.
They were. And
the conclusion they got out of it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
The boss, though, weren't the rumors true, though? He started cooking her. I was like, yeah, man. She asked for all that.
Was not wrong. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like he was.
His delivery was messed up.
He was cooking though.
But yes. That boy did not lie. I thought it was interesting though that we got to meet Queen in the present time this episode, and she kind of was the one who convinced the boss to kind of let her try to fix the problem on her own. Because at first he was like, "Hey, just ride out the storm. We're gonna send some other people to deal with the zombies." But I'm like, how would another hero really have been able to deal with that situation?
Yeah, it's
You just kill everybody? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
She had to be the one.
I feel like, yeah, she had to be the one to fix it. And honestly, she did what she had to do, man. She pulled up, messed up the director.
I didn't even know she was Hawkeye for real.
Bro. Yeah, didn't they just talk about giving her training and like she out here not missing?
Like, bro, she looked like a Lord Hawkeye from Marvel Rivals, bro.
Oh.
You know how much trouble they be giving me on the game?
Hey, for real. Man, she was cooking. That's all I'm gonna say, man. She really did what she had to do. It was just kind of heartbreaking when like homie started trying to twist on her, because honestly, on a certain sense, I think he was already getting caught up in that mass hysteria that was happening in that whole area anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he should have been the one person to be like, nah, this ain't you.
Hey man,
Personally,
I would have went on the dark side too. That food poisoning was crazy.
yeah, that food.
I'm sorry. Like,
Oh, God,
out of all
they
things,
ain't been able to eat for real.
you saw somebody in a nah, bro.
Hey,
Nah,
man.
bro, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts. But it just goes to show you, like, legit, like, the key word in this anime is with great power comes great responsibility. Because you could be trying to do your best, man, and people just gonna think the wrong thing and just mess everything up. And that's just insane. But aside from that, these dudes in the background, bro, we gotta talk about them. Her bosses and all the other different hero management people, man. They some twisted individuals.
Yep.
I don't like them, man, because they just be they toy with people's lives, like in a really real sense, and they don't really give them freedom either. This might have been the coolest one as far as like kind of letting her do what she needed to do. Everybody else has been on some like Dio Brando evil scheming.
I mean,
type.
yeah, they're letting her do what she need to do, but that boss man's still crazy.
Oh, he is, but he's the chillest one. Would you rather have the uncle from Esau? Nah, he been manipulating me since I was a kid. I'm not messing with him. Or even like nicest people. She was messed up, bro. The blonde lady.
I mean, she definitely let homegirl go, but
she didn't really let her go. She just didn't need her anymore.
Guess that's fair too.
You know what I'm saying?
Messed up.
Remember, at the end, she was like, she didn't want their trust values to be like linked to each other anymore. But she couldn't do anything about it because the fans wanted
That's what they wanted, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So once she finally got, she was like, you're a bum. Got the bum out of there. She was like, yeah, go do whatever you want. I got nice in the top 10. My money just doubled. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like her goodwill was definitely more veiled than numbers for her. So it's definitely a tricky situation. But yeah, those people in the background, they doing some moves out here, man. And we saw Isol's friend's dad at the end of the episode pulling up on a little garage. And it was real ominous because the other bosses was like, hey man, we're not the only ones trying to use the power of fear. So I'm like, y'all creating supervillains? Supervillain agencies?
Yeah.
I kind of gassed though.
We also forgot that Homie's the song that he wrote was from his parents that was sang to him.
Oh yeah.
That was
the evidence that made him realize that she really wasn't at fault. You know what I'm saying? Because her backstory is actually kind of tough. I ain't even gonna lie. If I was a more emotional dude, that would have put a tear in my eye, because the fact that she was able to legitimately not just be on that plane, right? But she was like the sole baby on the plane. So they literally put all their trust value and their hopes into her, which is why she ended up getting that lucky power. So I was like, that's tough. Like subconsciously, it just stuck with her after that point, you know? Because everyone else died. So they low-key, maybe someone else might have survived, but because they all like put everything that they had into this baby surviving, she was actually able to make it out of that situation. And I feel like her scene, or her best friend seeing that scene, and also seeing like his parents singing to her, that's why she thought that song that he made was familiar
before.
Yeah, and even he probably was a baby when he heard it, so he thought this was like my original song, but that's what his parents probably was playing for him. I was like, that's tough.
That makes so much sense when she said that, though.
Yeah, he gonna have to be her manager or something, man. Y'all tied. Y'all legit so tied since like birth. That's crazy. But I feel like this was just a really good episode all around. I would have to give this one honestly like a 9. It was solid.
I'll give it an 8.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing that what could have made this episode a 10 is if this man Iso pulled up and shot her nigga.
You're wild.
Hey, look, let me lock in for you real quick though. Imagine this. Because here's the thing, Iso does not let no one be happy. We've already established this, okay? He's not a good guy. New Iso is a bad guy. Like, Imagine Batman saved you as a kid. You grow up, take on the Batman mantle, and kill Batman. You're wrong for that. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's how he moves. I would not have been surprised if he just blitzed in there like, welcome to the top 10. I was just saying.
That'd have been wild.
That might have been crazy. But other than that, honestly, I really just enjoyed this episode. And we've been finding out a couple new things, too, about the verse. Like with how the animation swaps.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. The fact that this man X, who apparently is going to be like the #1 hero, every time the animation swaps, it's him snapping his fingers. What are this man's powers?
Just peeks in him.
Is he All Might? Is he better than All Might? I gotta know, man. Like, he moving different if this is what's going on. But I was wondering why he only gets one episode.
I don't know.
But now I'm like, is every episode technically his episode? Because he just...
That's true.
Like, he's doing something every single time.
I think that whole episode is going to be insane. There's going to be something happening like the whole time.
Bro, imagine like they do like a timeline of every time like he snaps. And it's like through each episode, but he's doing something the whole...
Yeah,
I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
I don't know, man. But X is looking like he's going to be absolutely goated materials. But aside from that, man, y'all let us know what y'all thought about this episode of To Be Hero X. We liked it. We thought it was pretty good. We're excited to see what this next hero has to bring, though, because I don't even know what the name of this next person is supposed to be. But it should be tough. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll catch y'all.